Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2023 Genesis GV60. This is the smaller of the Genesis crossover SUVs, and it is the fully electric version. It's very, very cold despite the bright sunlight out here. The wind is knocking the wind chill, is making the temperature somewhere around 2. And so, yeah, my hands got cold really fast out here. Anyway, this is kind of the entry point for the Genesis electric vehicles. If you remember, I've done a couple of other Genesis options over the last several months. This marks the last of the whole group. I've now driven every Genesis vehicle. Genesis, if you don't know, is Hyundai's luxury brand, and they are hitting the mark hard. Every vehicle they make is perfectly fit for the audience they're aiming for. They've done a very, very good job. Now this particular one has a starting price somewhere around the $50,000 range. You have about, I believe it's 240 miles of range, and you should get that or better most of the time. Even with the bitter cold, I had this plugged in yesterday to fully charge and then unplugged it, and overnight when temperatures with wind chill went down below zero and ambient without wind chill, the set outside and without wind chill, the temperature was still, I think it was 7 degrees outside. So even with all of that, the battery lost almost nothing just sitting there not plugged in. So that's a good illustration of how well the batteries will hold up in the wintertime. I know that's a big meme. People like to say, oh, your electric car is useless in the winter. Not true at all. So here you go. 240 miles of range. I drove this from the airport to my house on one charge. I had about 96% when I left the airport. When I got home, that's a big altitude change, by the way. I'm going from Denver. The airport is at about, I want to say it's 5,400 feet if I remember. Up here in Cheyenne, we're at 6,400. So that is a big altitude change, and that was lots of freeway driving at 75 plus miles per hour. And I still got home with better than half the battery left. I had, I believe the number was 55 or 56%. I'll have to refer to some quick snapshots I took with my phone just so I could record that. So yeah, it was beautifully done, and the highway mileage is a little better than I expected out of a vehicle like this. So let's talk a little about design, and we'll talk about the interior because it has an excellent interior, and then just kind of wrap this up. This is a beautifully done vehicle. By the way, it is all-wheel drive. It has a motor up front and in the rear. So yeah, it's a well-balanced, beautiful little machine. Let's talk about design. So looking at it from the side here, you can see some of the design profile. The doors are unlocked, so you can see the handles are sticking out. They otherwise fold in. The front handle, looking at it, you probably can't see it from there, but I did take a photo, so I'll try to overlay that. The front handle has a physical key spot. So you can physically push the handle open. You push it from the part closest to the wheel up front there, and it will lever out, and then you can shove a physical key in there and unlock. Nice little kind of a backup system for just in case on this. So as I walk in to give you some perspective, I want you to get a load of these wheels. These are beauty. I love these things. They are so pretty. Really awesome design. So you can see kind of the size, get some perspective with me standing here. 6'3", haven't missed any hamburgers. So pretty good sized dude. And here's your size. So small vehicle. It's not really a mid-size. It's small. Seats 5, 2 in the front, 3 in the back. So you can see kind of the design profile. It's pretty typical of the Genesis lineup. Very much the SUV with soft rounded fenders up here and in the back. Nice kind of simple bodywork. Lots of fleck in the paint to make the paint really kind of pop out. and you can see just the general roll of the door. There's no real belt line. They're just kind of using this trim as a belt line, and a really gentle run up, down until it gets to right about here, and then it suddenly cuts in order to make that running board slash rocker panel thing. Roofline slopes quickly but does not impede headroom. The real slope on the roofline doesn't actually start till right about here. So people sitting in the seats, that's about the back of the seat right there. So you don't notice the headroom loss because of the way they did the curvature. So you see the curve goes down to here. The spoiler on the back, again, that fender, the lighting is really nicely done. And then they bring this up like that, and then make a dark pillar here to kind of blanket without blanking it, because this creates that Z pattern. Really cool looking. I really like the design they went with here. Very, very just kind of sleek, simple, but they're really aiming for kind of classy luxury. So really nicely done. Love the overall look of the vehicle. Let's go talk about the rear storage space, and then I'll get in the front seat. I'm not going to get in the back. Just trust me that I can sit in it and be okay. Have a little bit of headroom, not a whole lot. 6'3", and I had maybe an inch left. Up here, much better. Lots of room every which way. So let's go talk about that stuff. So in the back here, you can see the GV60 logo. You can see the split tail lights, which mirror those headlights up there. Really kind of a cool look. This also lights up across here. Your backup camera is right there, and you can see just the simplicity. They didn't go too nuts with design. It's a hatchback style, so it's more of a station wagon hatchback than it is crossover SUV. It's not square, it's rounded really well, and then kind of it flattens here, but they keep the curvature going so it doesn't look like it's flattened. And then when you open it up here, my camera gear is in here, but you can see nice cargo space. This opens very tall. You can set it to open lower, but I don't know why you would need to, because you'd have to have a really small garage to need to lower that down. So cargo space is pretty good, about my arm's length going back. We got several bags of pellets for our pellet stove in here, no problems. We did a Sam's Club run in this. It loaded up, no problems. So plenty of stuff in here. There's a tie down net on the bottom of this. You can move it around. There are D-hooks on each of the corners, up and back. So you can move this around however you need. You can get a cargo cover that goes over this. This doesn't have it. And then underneath all of this is the plugs to plug it in. So it comes with its own plugs. Also the tire inflation kit and a few other things. So really nicely done back here. You got a 12-volt plug. You got your jump start plugs over there. So you open up a panel and there's your battery terminal. So well done. Let's go talk about the inside. Finally, out of the wind. So it is a wonderful experience in this car. Very pretty interior. I'll show you a couple of photos so you can get the color scheme and how just nicely done it is. If you're looking really closely at the photo of the steering wheel, just look at the steering wheel. I'll try to zoom on it. You see the boost button on the right? That gives you a temporary boost of power so you can really launch this thing. It works under most any circumstance. I used it on the highway just to pass and see how the button performed. And then I've used it a couple times just to feel it out here, like in this parking lot and driving, on a road where I don't have to worry about anything. We have had a lot of weather this week, so I also got to try out the weather handling for this vehicle, and it's very good. The beauty of a vehicle like this is that you're very low to the ground compared to like a truck or something. You're low to the ground. All your weight is down the middle between the axles, so it's very nicely centered, and so everything is nicely balanced for driving in slick and snowy conditions. It does a really good job. Also, with an electric vehicle, you have instant heat production. So your defrost on the windshield in the back just starts working almost immediately, starts warming the cabin really fast, all of that stuff. That's a big advantage, I think, to electric vehicles for people in the wintertime. Drive mode selection is on the left of the steering wheel. This has a handful of them. And then you have just a few useful buttons here and there for all kinds of things. It's well laid out, well done. Nice big infotainment screen that's seamlessly integrated with the driver information and instrument cluster. Just a well done. The side mirrors are well done, good size, so you don't have a lot, and then a lot of blind spots. And then your Bang & Olufsen stereo is beauty in this. Lots of USB and 12-volt plugs all over the place. It's just smart. A smart layout that's really pretty and feels really good and is super comfortable. I love the seating in this, just beauty. So yeah, nicely done there. Genesis hits the mark on interiors every time. Let's go wrap this up. So to finish this off, this is the 2023 Genesis GV60. Beautiful vehicle. I love this car. Nicely done electric powertrain on this. Well fit for the market it's aiming for. If you're on the up and coming, you're looking for an electric vehicle, you're on the up and coming, and you want a kind of luxury ride. If you're in the market as, say, a realtor or you know, mid-management business and working your way up that ladder, that sort of thing, early executives, those kind of people, this is a beautiful set for you. This is also perfect for the single parent that prefers a luxury ride and needs one or two, a couple of car seats at most, but probably just one, and or for the the empty nester that maybe wants to occasionally throw a grandkid in the back and needs the room for when, the kids call and their tiny little compact, whatever they own, won't haul the TV they just bought. There you go. So wonderful setup and a really nice car. Genesis GV60. So there you go. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.